Well, the book is a straight adventure detective book, first in a 4-book series. It's for ages 11 plus. But it's a book with a bit of a difference. So the story of the book is 13-year-old Edie Marble, a year after her mother's supposedly accidental death on the train tracks at Finsbury Park tube station. She's at the stone setting, which is a Jewish cemetery, ritual about a year after the death, and she's put on the coat that she hasn't worn for a year since the day the school teacher went into the class and told her the terrible news. Coming back from the grave, she puts her hands in the pocket, she's by herself, and she finds a note. And she finds that her mum, who's a human rights investigator, has left her a series of clues. She was in the midst of a detailed, difficult, dangerous human rights investigation, and she trusts only her daughter, and she's left her a set of 5 clues to solve to help bring the criminals to justice, and also to help her come to terms psychologically with this awful happening. So it's a straight adventure book, but at the same time I've introduced through the book an approach or an understanding of how the mind works called the 3 principles, which is a framework to support children, adolescents, young people, as well as adults, their parents, in terms of coping with life's challenges, mental health, mental illness, but also helping children fulfill their potential. I mean, I've always liked clues and riddles. I still do the cryptic crossword now, or try to do it. So, I think a lot of, as you said, a lot of young people like that, trying to solve something that's a bit of fun. So, again, I conceived that idea from somewhere. And there is a reason in the book why her mother sounds a bit elaborate, but there's an explanation for why the mother has chosen to only choose Edie and why she's chosen the 5 clues. Each has a meaning behind them that unravels or reveals itself rather. We have there's a cryptic crossword clue, there is a riddle, there's a limerick, there's a maths clue, there's an art clue. There's a range of different clues in there, and I thought it was great fun that Crown House decided with the bookmark, they asked me to make a 6th clue. So there is a 6th clue as well, which is a different kind of clue there as for readers to have a bit of fun with. The main characters, if you like, would be Edie and her family. So her father is a GP, and he's in his 40s. Her mother, who, as we find out, her mother has died, but her mother is a human rights investigator. So, and she's been involved in one of the charitable organisations investigating, tracking down all kinds of different human rights investigations, whether it's slavery, child labour, oil spillage, or that kind of thing. So at a serious and international level. There's a hitman called Zero, who's ex-SAS, and all of the characters have stories, so they're not. What I've tried to do is not make anyone black and white. I was interested in writing for this sort of, let's say, 11 to 14, 15-year-old age group for a few reasons. I mean, I loved reading at that age. I found reading and books incredibly formative. I can still remember some of the books I read. It led me into being a reader, if you like. So I think it's a really important time for reading and stimulating your imagination and just getting the pleasure and joy out of being immersed in a book and the creative energies that engenders. But I also think it's a really important time in children's development. I mean, that sort of adolescent period, or early adolescence, if you like, is the time when you're beginning to realize self or understand that you're your own person in the world. You're beginning to try and grapple with some of those challenges that continue through, of course, adolescence, young adulthood, and add on into adulthood, but really start happening there of beginning to get independence, not dependent on your parents. You can do things for yourself, of grappling with more complex social relationships, For me, being able to share or contribute a book that I hope will both excite, be a pleasure, but also inspire and provide something that that age group can actually get something from, maybe learn, support them in their own lives, help them flourish, is particularly appealing. The book is called The 5 Clues. It's the first in the 4-book Don't Doubt the Rainbow series, published by Crown House, and the book will be available on the 2nd of August 2021 this year. And the following book, the second in the series, Outside Chance, will be available next summer 2022.
Thank you very much for your time, Anthony. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.